Welcome to Timeout with Ochoche Emmanuel, the last episode for 2022. Sadly, not sadly, because the year is already running out, or the year has already ended for some people, and then for us for some of us, the year has ended already. So, it's going to be the last one for the year, and then we'll kickstart next year. We'll have lots of stuff sparked out for next year already, and so it's going to be an exciting time tonight. So I'll just do a brief recap of all of the different episodes that we had. In the first episode we had Pastor James Eboh, and then we spoke about his experiences throughout school. We spoke about how those experiences are helping him in real life now, and then some of the exploits he was able to achieve and then was able to make during his time on campus. And then it was a beautiful episode. And then after his episode we had Pastor Folarin Adalemo, and then he also spoke about some of the exploits he made in school, and then he spoke about purpose. And then it was quite an interesting one, because I'm very keen and I'm very passionate about the topic purpose. So it was an interesting one. So I'll just read out one or two things that he said that was striking for me. One of which is the call of God is the most important. It's the most powerful thing you can have, which is everybody has a call, everybody has something, everybody has a reason why they're on earth, and then when you can discover that's like the ultimate, that's the best thing that can happen to you. Imagine being aware of why you're on earth and then walking in line with it, and then diving into all that God has packed in for you and then called you forth to earth to do. So that was one striking one for me. And then obviously, all the episodes are still on my page, so you can visit them and then watch and share. So also one of the things he said sometimes you don't know what you have the capacity for until God reveals it to you. Most times we don't know the extent at which we can get to some of the things that we're capable of doing until when we get to one level or one point in life where God shows us or reveals it to us, and we're I actually have capacity to handle this. I can actually function in this space. I can actually function in this department. I can actually function in basically that sphere or that phase or that place that God has kept you, or God has put you, or God has called you for. Also, he said one of the things he said also is be diligent in all you're called to do. There's a reward for that. So anything you're doing in general, anything that God has called you to do that you're involved in, be diligent in it, because there's always a reward. It would say that your treasure is in what God has called you for. Your treasure is in what God has put you on earth to do. So all that you would get that is prosperity, treasures, every single thing is wrapped up in what God has called you to do. So there's always a reward for what you're on earth to do. So it's very, very much important that you're diligent with it. So also one of the things that okay, let me leave that for. We have all the episodes on my page, so you can as well just go back to the videos and watch it again. So we also had Rosario Mario on one of the episodes, and then we spoke on basically we spoke on building relationships in your workspace, career, leading an A team. It was an insightful episode, because we really dealt with how we spoke about one of the things that we spoke about that is really important is networking. And then we spoke about how you can network with different people. We cited a very, very, very interesting story or scenario where he said in his local area, one of the people that we call street boys or thugs actually got him an interview with someone that is like prominent, and then that's one of the beauties of networking. And networking also, it is one of the things that networking will do for you is, I am in a particular field and then you're in a particular field. Networking will help me achieve a lot of things that my field limits me to some extent. And then because I have that relationship with you, and then it will help me moving. And then he also spoke about handling relationship with people that for leaders, which those were all leaders. And then so he spoke about handling relationship with leaders and subordinates and all of that. So it was a very, very interesting one. So then we also had Pastor Noah Gambo, and then it was a beautiful one. He spoke about building relationship with God, handling relationship with God, and then he spoke about how you can do mix business and ministry, business basically. And then one of the things that why all of this is insightful is because a particular industry, you can take out some of the things that you can do in this industry, you can relate it to another industry. It's not limited in any way. So what I'm trying to say is, if he's talking about ministry and then you're into fashion, it still works both ways. So he spoke about managing ministry and business, and then he spoke about how to handle our personal relationship, our personal walk with God, how to hear God, how to basically have a better relationship with God. And then all of this informations are all part in the videos that we had during the live sessions that I would encourage that we go back to watch, and then also share. Don't just keep the information to yourself, share to loved ones, like I said, enemies, everybody, and all of that. So also let me just read out. Okay, and then one of the things that he said in terms of relationship with God, he said to follow God is to be ready to obey God. So we see that most times you want to follow God, you want to say, you have a beautiful relationship with God. One of the things that you would actually guarantee that is that you actually obey God in every sense. And then we spoke about communication, how communication is important in the relationship. There's no relationship without communication. You're just going yourself. If you're in a relationship that there's no communication. So also it has to be the same way with God. When you have going to a relationship with God, it has to be a level of communication between you and God. So we spoke about intimacy also. We had the amazing Twinsax, and then it was an insightful one, especially for those people that want to travel abroad and all of that. So they spoke about how to, if actually that's where you're supposed to be, because now everybody is traveling abroad, instead of joining the bandwagon and going out of the country and all of that. If that is where God wants you to be, understanding if that is where God wants you to be, if that is what God wants you to do at that particular time, understanding if it is the right time to relocate, the right place to relocate, how to go about relocating or studying, either one of them. As far as you want to, I don't use the word japa, but in case you want to japa, that episode is for you. So you can check out the video for more of the information. That was one of the things that they spoke about, is the lifestyle in the Western community or the Western world. You live in Africa, you're going to Europe, you're going to the UK, wherever you're going to, they have a particular lifestyle there. And then these are some of the things they spoke about during the session. Also, after we had Twinsax, we had the amazing Miss Tolu Aina, and then we spoke about ideas. We spoke about what ideas are, what's the difference between an idea and a vision, and then we spoke. That particular episode is one of my favorites because of the fact that she was the first female that came on Timeout of Ochoche Emmanuel for the first season. So, but apart from that, we had like a very, very insightful and a powerful session, and then I would encourage that everybody go back all over and to watch again and again. And then one of the things she cited, I'll just read through some of the things that are actually important for us to note, is that no idea is small, and then no idea or vision is too small. And then it is important. An idea is only important when it is written down. If it is not written down, it means it's not important. So when you pen down an idea is when the idea is relevant. It is irrelevant if it is not written. And then for my own personal, I would say that if it is not written, then it's not an idea or it's not a vision. Because if it is an idea or a vision, it has to be written. So also, one of the things that we have to note for every idea to grow is, number one, you have to believe in the idea. Your idea cannot grow, your idea cannot be worth anything if you don't believe in the idea. Imagine, yes, I don't believe in what I'm doing now. Obviously, I really waste my time. Like, there's no way it's going to be impactful in any way if I don't believe in it. So, and it cuts across every single thing that we will do on earth, basically. If you don't believe in the idea, if you don't believe in what you're doing, it can't grow, it can't go anywhere. And also, one of the things she said was work on your idea. You have to put in work to get to achieve that goal, or to achieve what you're working towards getting. So, first, you believe in the idea. Secondly, you work on the idea. You have to put in the little work. Also, you have to stay with the idea. And then she cited how this is like one of the major problems we have in our world today, in our country today, not just in Africa, but basically in the world, where because as young people want to get stuff immediately. We want to start seeing results. Like today, it's more like you go into a farm and then you plant, and then you expect to see everything germinate immediately. It doesn't work that way. So you have to stay with your idea. You have to stay with that goal. You have to stay with whatever you're into, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you're doing. You have to stay with it, because it is when you stay with it that it can grow. And then you don't expect it to just boom, just experience it all the way immediately. You have to first believe, stay with them. First you believe, you work on it, and then you stay with it. Then also you have to appraise your ideas. So that was that about Mrs. Tolu's episode. And then we had Pastor Captain Thomas all the way from Ilorin, and then we spoke about consistency. And then we spoke about understanding what consistency is, why it seems like there's a decline in consistency in our world today, which is almost similar to what Mrs. Tolu cited about young people not staying with an idea, which is typical. So this is one of the things that we have in our world today. There's a decline in consistency, there's a decline in consistent people in our world today, and so we dealt with that. And then one of the things that we also cited, for me personally, I would say that okay, we spoke about why people don't go wrong or whatever they do, and then I said there's no way it's just irresponsibility to some extent. I know some people will disagree with me, but it's more like you're doing something and then you don't. This is, and then you said God gave you a vision. It's an idea that came from heaven or something, and then you stop doing it. It just means that to some extent, if you actually want to play with it, is that irresponsibility in the sense that God has given you an idea, or given you a vision, or given you something to work with, or called you for something, and then you don't do it again. To me, that's irresponsibility. But then I know there are the different circumstances that will come that will make you but I'm just trying to paint it so it will sound nice, but to me it's just irresponsibility. And also we had Pastor Emmanuel, which was like the last episode before school, and then we spoke about excellence, and then it was a very beautiful episode also. And then I would encourage that everybody should actually take a look at that episode. It was very, 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 very impactful. And then one of the things that he said, I like his definition of excellence. So I'll leave you to go and take a peep at it. But one of the things he said, excellence means preeminence, means to be preeminent, it means to be superior, it means to be extreme. I like the word extreme. It means that you're doing something above the usual, above normal. It's extreme from every other thing that you can see. It means that if something will be painted black, it means that your own black is going to be on another level. So excellence means to be extreme, and then it means to be at the highest quality of something. It means the highest quality of something. It means that if they say this person is excellent, there's second to none when it comes to this delivery. There's second to none when it comes to it. And then excellence is a person. Excellence is a person. It means, and then mediocrity is the opposite of excellence. It means that if things are being done in a mediocre way, it means that excellence is not there. So excellence is the absence of mediocrity, and then mediocrity is the presence of mediocrity is the absence of excellence, and excellence is the absence of mediocrity. So today I would like to basically, one of the things that this episode is for simply is what can we do with all of these informations that we've received throughout this day. We've been in seminars, we've been in services, we've been in Timeout of Ochoche Emmanuel, and then we've received a lot of information, we've gone through a lot of information, we've soaked ourselves with books, messages, tapes, and all of that. So what do we do with all of these information that we've soaked ourselves in this year, and then the year's already running out, the year's already almost ended. So what do we do at this last part of the year? So one of the things I'll just list them out. Firstly, to be Thanksgiving. This period is one that we should engage in Thanksgiving. There's a lot of things to be thankful for, from January, February, all down to December. There's a lot of things that you want to be thankful, that we have to be thankful for, that we have. There's every reason to be thankful for. Even if there are certain things, there are certain goals that you don't achieve. Or if you look right from January till now, there's a lot of things that you're thankful for. Even if you don't see anything to be thankful for, thank God that you have good health, you're alive, and then you can watch the video, or maybe someone's watching the video please to do something. But at least thank God for life, thank God for family, and thank God for God, because without God, I don't know what or where we will be. So firstly, Thanksgiving. And then what I'm saying is, what are we doing what should we do at this last part of the year, and then when we're launching into 2023. Then also we have to prepare for 2023. And then when we talk about preparation for 2023, it's a very serious thing that we have to take cognizance of. We have to take it serious, because we have to prepare for the year that we're getting into. And then how do we prepare for the year? Firstly, is to reminisce on 2022. And then why are we reminiscing? Well, reminiscing to see what we need to improve on, what we need to let go of, what basically needs improvements, what were the lapses we made in 2022, where did we feel like we could have done better at every opportunity that we had at some point in time. So firstly, reminisce on 2022, see what you need to do differently, see where you need to improve in, like I said. And then also review relationships. This is one serious one. Review relationships. The people around your circle, are they people that are improving, helping to improve or influence you to do better? Are they people that are drawing you backwards? Are they people that, okay, you can say, oh, I have these people in my life, I'm going through the right direction, these people have helped me to attain this, these people have helped me not to make certain type of mistakes. So review your relationship. You don't want to go into this. I'm not talking about making resolutions, but actually taking conscious decisions to have a better 2023. So review relationships. If you've had the wrong type of people in your life in 2022, it's time to let go of some of them as you go into 2023. And then it's not like you're going to start a beef with anybody. I think one of the best ways to actually let go of certain people is through the help of God, through the help of the Holy Spirit. To just pray and ask God, okay, I'm giving you a personal tip. I don't want to be in this relationship with this person because I'm not doing it. So one of the things that we have to check is, are we growing with certain people that are around us? So that's within relationship. Also, we have to reminisce, we have to check, are we satisfied with our results for this year? With everything that we've been involved in, are we satisfied with what we are seeing now in 2023? In December already, are we satisfied with all that we achieved in 2022? So if we're not, it means that we have to improve, get a growth plan, and then see where we need to improve in, what we need to do differently to experience a better 2023. Also, which is one of the favorites, one of the most important things is to pray. Wow, ended. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, pray at all time, pray at every season, pray ceaselessly, at different versions of the Bible says. So we have to first, and then when we're praying, firstly, we've already cited that we have to give thanks. So it should be a prayer of thanksgiving, of adoration, and then we go into prayer of intercession, interceding for our families, interceding for our lives in general, and then asking God what to do, what should we do better, what should we do, what does He want us to do in 2023. What basically, because if we most times when we say we have plans, we have plans in our head that we want to do in the next coming year. Is that what God actually wants us to do? Is that the steps that we want to take in the next year? Is it the steps that God would want us to take? So that is why it is important to actually pray while we're preparing to go into the next year. So we need to ask God for instructions for the coming year. So, and then we have to understand, while we're praying, we have to understand, we're asking God to understand what He wants us to do in the coming year as well. So that is why it's very, 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 very important to pray as we prepare to go into the next year. Then after praying, what do we need to do? We have to listen, because if you pray to God, this is communication, and then this is why, and this is why we need to go back and watch the previous series, because we spoke about this in one of the series. When you pray to God, you have to listen for Him to talk, because you're talking at someone, you have to wait to get a response, because that is what communication means. You talk and then you listen to receive, listen to hear, listen for instructions. So one, after praying, you need to wait and listen, depending on, and then this depends on how you listen to, how God speaks to you. If it's after prayer, you have to calm down and hear Him. Basically, it depends on you, but definitely we have to pray and then ask God for His leading for the next year. So also, and then one of the things we also need to do is to stay with the Word of God. It means that we have to study the Word. Most times, God will speak to you through scriptures when you're studying His Word and all of that. So you need to pray. You have to, first we said thanksgiving, secondly reminisce, and then now we're saying pray, and then stay with the Word of God. And also then we plan. So if God has told you, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, we have to be strategic about whatever God tells us to do. So we'll plan. After we've had God, is to plan. That's the next thing. So you have to draw out a plan. Because I'm an architect, I'm talking about plan, but then we have to draw out a plan of how to achieve these things that God has told us to do. If God has said, is saying, okay, move out of the country, I'm making an example, so people don't take this. If God is saying move out of the country, make out a plan. What do I start with? If you don't have a international passport, you have to go and get one. God will not come down and give you international passport. Well, okay, so you make out a plan and all of what you need to do. If you need to make research and all of that. So basically, after praying, after staying with the Word of God, you listen for instructions, and then after you've received instructions, you plan with those instructions that you received. Also, your plan should be written down. If it is not written down, like we said earlier, it is not a plan or a vision or an idea. It has to be written down. It has to be on paper, and then we have to actually put it down and say, this is the plan that we're working with for 2023. Also, fifthly, what do we need to do after maybe I'm supposed to employ someone to keep the drums while giving every of the points. Fifthly, with all that have been said, we have to be deliberate about it. If you want, we can't say, I want to have a better 2023, and then that is why some resolutions are pointless, in quotes, because what are you saying? What are you doing to actually achieve what you've planned to do? A plan without an action is not. Everything that is written will just stay written if you don't actually have if you don't take a conscious step in trying to achieve all of these things that are written. So we have to be deliberate about the change that we want to see 2023. or what 2022 has, what's our end result of the year, which is where we are at now. If we're not satisfied with it, what do you actually want to do better? But we have to, that is why I say we have to take a conscious step. We have to be deliberate about making changes. We have to be deliberate about doing everything differently. Even if you had even if this year obviously was a fantastic year. Every year is like it has to be better than 2023 has to be better than 2022. So what conscious decision do you want to make? So that is why at the last point before this episode ends is we have to be deliberate about the change that we want to see. So as I'm saying change, I'm not talking about Buhari change. I'm saying that we have to make a conscious decision. We have to be deliberate about the change that we want to see. So we need to make sure we engage in all that we've spoken about reminiscing on the year, and then we've said pointing out some of the areas you need improvements, some of the areas that you need to do better. Okay, so now that you've highlighted all of those things, what do you want to do? And that's why this last point is important. We have to be deliberate about it. We have to ensure that, okay, I don't like the results I had in this particular area or aspect of my life in 2022. We have to be deliberate about it. It means that what should I do that will make it different? And then we have to engage in that thing that will make it different. Also, if you want to have a different result, it means that we have to do things differently. If it's only when you say, okay, I'm a painter, and then I don't want to see white. It means that I have to change the paint I'm using and then use a different color so that I will see white. Or if you're whatever field you're in, it means that if you want to see something different in that particular field or that particular aspect of your life, you have to do things differently for it to be able to achieve a different result. You say that if you continue using a particular recipe, you wouldn't expect that the taste of whatever you're producing to change. It's only change when you use different recipes, when you change your approach to it. So we have to use different approaches to get different results. Also, and then finally, this Instagram live won't be complete if I don't talk about us actually following and pursuing purpose in 2023. God has placed all of us on earth not to do what every other person is doing, not to join a band and then travel abroad and all of that. God has placed all of us on earth for a purpose. So it is pointless if we continue to go at every daily, and then we think we're making progress if we're not doing what God has called us on earth to do. So in 2023, as much as possible, we should understand what God has called us to do on earth and then pursue it with the whole of our life, because our life actually depends on it. Like we cited earlier, like when the video started, that your treasure is in what God has called you to do. Apart from treasure, apart from what substances and all of that, our fulfillment, we only find fulfillment in what God has called us for. You wouldn't find fulfillment in any way if you're doing what isn't your original, if you're doing what isn't God's original design for you on earth. So as much as possible, as much as we pray, as much as we be strategic, we plan and all of that, all of this should go and we should be in line with our purpose. We should pursue purpose with as much as possible, because it will be a tragedy that you live life for the span of life that you live, and then that you didn't fulfill purpose. It will be a tragedy. So as much as possible, as we're going into 2023, as we're praying and planning and then asking God what should we do, waiting for instructions and all of that, we have to also put it in mind and then ask God what is my purpose on earth. And then if you've discovered it, you still ask for His help, and then still plan, and then find a way to be strategic about whatever God has called you, to ensure that we get the best out of life. The best of our people will get the best out of life when we are doing what God has called us for. So, fortunately, we were supposed to have a special guest that would give us a small entertainment, but sadly couldn't get in. But next year, kickstarting in February, Timeout of Ochoche Emmanuel will kickstart. Then we use January to continue planning, preparing, and then be strategic about all that we're going to be doing for next year. We have a lot of stuff that's packed out for next year. We have, so just stick to my page. I'll continue dropping information about different events that will be coming up in 2023. But this is the last one for the year, and then I'm excited that I've been having all of you joining in, and then from people that will be watching the podcast, it's going to be a huge thing. We still share with friends, with loved ones, with enemies, and everybody. So thank you all so much for being part of this season of Timeout of Ochoche Emmanuel. So also we pray daily. For those people that don't know that we pray daily by 12 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. It's been an exciting time. If you've not joined us before, feel free to join us. The link is on my bio. You can send a DM, and then I'll add it to the group chat, and then we'll pray together. So thank you so much for your time, for the support, for everything. And then special thanks to Samuel. We planned all of the whole episode together, even if he's the man behind the camera. So thank you all so much. To enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much. This is from me to you, a big love, big love to everybody. Thank you for an amazing season of Timeout of Ochoche Emmanuel. So see you all in 2023. We'll all be basking in God's glory, and then enjoying and walking in purpose and doing all of that. So thank you all. See you in 2023.